The Bucks, Raptors, Celtics, and 76ers blew through their first round series. We had dramatics in Portland and OKC. Houston dispatched the Jazz in 5. What about the Warriors and the Nuggets? Where do we stand after 6 games of the first round? Stay tuned. Welcome back. The first round has been uneventful, exciting, boring, predictable, all of that at the same time pretty much. We'll start in the East where all the series are finished. Milwaukee dispatched Detroit 4-0 pretty easily. No surprises here. I thought maybe Detroit might be able to sneak one at home, but that didn't happen. So the Bucks, they win at 4-0. Next series, we got Boston and Indiana. The Celtics won this one 4-0. A little bit surprising because the way the Pacers played. They did play really hard. They had a chance to steal a couple games in Boston. Obviously, they had the chance to win games in Indiana, but they weren't able to pull it out. And I thought that's where they missed Oladipo. They did not have that go-to scorer that they could depend on to finish off games and get them shots and or buckets in the fourth quarter. So Celtics moving on 4-0 as well. They will match up with the Bucks in the next round. We have Philadelphia. They beat the Brooklyn Nets 4-1. Only drama in this series is what was Jared Dudley going to do next. I mean, that was it. Yes, the Brooklyn did shock them in game 1, and everyone felt because the way they won, double digits, controlled the game, people felt like they had a chance to steal the series. I didn't even give them another game after they won the first one. I thought Philadelphia would win it 4-1, so that's what happened. But there was not a whole lot of drama after that first game outside of Jared Dudley and his antics. But the Sixers do move on, and they will play the Toronto Raptors, who also lost their first game of the series to Orlando. I didn't expect them to lose another one. They didn't. They won the next 4, and they will play the 76ers in the next round. So we have 2 exciting series coming up. Bucks, Celtics, Raptors, and Sixers. I ain't gonna tell you whole my thoughts on that one yet, but I will do a video, just a quick video, before those series start. I believe they start on Saturday is the first game, so I'll drop like a quick video just to give you my predictions on that series. Moving to the West, we have Houston. They beat the Utah Jazz 4-1. I thought the Jazz could push them to 7 games. What? They let one get away in game 3 in Utah, and that ultimately was their undoing because they ended up winning game 4, had an opportunity to win game 5 in Houston. Donovan Mitchell probably had one of the worst shooting games of his career. Short 2-year career, obviously, but I don't want to say the moment was too big for him. I just think he just had a bad game. The Rockets do win 4-1. I think they must play better in moving forward because I don't think they're going to get by the other teams playing the way they did against Utah. I would say the final 4 games, final 3 games maybe. And I thought the first 2 games they played really, really well, but I don't know if any of these teams remaining are as good defensively as Utah in the West anyway. So They may not face that type of defense anyway, but I believe they have to play better if they're gonna get to the finals. So they win this series 4-1. Portland and OKC, a lot of high drama in this series. Westbrook and Lillard. It lived up to the hype, even though Portland ended up winning the series 4-1. Damian Lillard had one of the biggest shots in playoff history.
Really?
50 points, a 37-foot three-pointer over Paul George to end the series. Yeah, it was special. It was a very special performance. He had 10 threes in the game. Shot lights out, but yeah, I mean, it was a good series. I enjoyed it. I thought after the first two games, I thought the series was really good. You know, they played back and forth both games. I thought Portland just executed better, and their role players made bigger shots. They were more consistent than OKC's role players. So that's my take on the series. I know everyone's bashing Russell Westbrook. I didn't think Russell Westbrook went out there and really just tried to force the issue and, you know, took 30 shots. And that's not what we saw. We saw him making the same plays that Lillard and McCollum were making, where the whole defense is obviously geared to stop them, him and Paul George. So anytime they penetrated, he's kicking it out to the shooters. And they didn't make shots, you know, so it's hard because Westbrook is not a great jump shooter. So if you pack the lane on him, it is very difficult for him to score at a high rate like that unless they're putting him on the free throw line, which they weren't. So like I said, I didn't have a problem with the way he played. I just thought they need shooters in OKC. They can't have guys out there where you live with it. Now, I would say the same thing for Portland. Aminu, Harkless. If you're OKC, they pretty much did the same thing. They lived with those guys making shots, but they made them. They made them in timely situations, as well as, you know, Lillard and McCollum were they were played better than George and Westbrook in this series. I will say that. CJ McCollum, to me, was the difference in this series. Even though Damian Lillard, you know, had a really big series, I thought CJ McCollum was like, he was special. And for a 3-game stretch, it's hard to gear in on Lillard when McCollum is doing what he was doing. So I thought that made a big difference in the series. So that being said, Portland moves on. They will play the winner of the Nuggets and the Spurs. That series is 3-2 Nuggets. They play tonight, so the Nuggets have a chance to wrap it up in San Antonio. I believe they will. I just think they're the better team. I felt like they were the better team going in. I know a lot of people, a lot of the so-called experts were picking the Spurs in 7, and I'm not saying there's no chance for that to happen. Obviously, it could. They have a home game, so they should play better at home. But I just think the Nuggets have not so much gotten the monkey off their back, but I think the fact so many guys don't have playoff experience, they're a lot more relaxed. I think you're seeing that in the play of Jokic and Gary Harris and Jamal Murray. So I think Denver has found itself in the playoffs. So, yeah, I expect them to wrap it up tonight and move on to play Portland. That leaves one series left. The champs.
Really?
Okay. I didn't say it was time to panic when the Clippers went into, when the Clippers were down 30 in Oakland and came back and won game 2. That's never been done before. The biggest comeback in playoff history. I'm not saying it's time to panic now because obviously the Warriors went games 3 and 4 in LA and won both of them. Came home with a chance to wrap up the series, but that didn't happen. Why, you say? Because the Clippers, like I told y'all before the series, they will fight. I gave them 2 games because I felt like the way they fight, they're going to get a couple games from the Warriors based off of that.
Do I have everybody's
Because
attention
the Warriors
now?
are used to teams basically tapping out once they go on a run. The Clippers are not going to do that. They only know how to play one way. They're not super talented, so they play with their heart. With that being said, I expect the Warriors to win Game 6 in LA. I don't think this is going 7. Would it shock me? No. Just because of everything I said. It would not shock me if it went 7, but I don't expect it to. I expect the Warriors to put this series away because the longer it goes, I think it helps the Rockets. It does help Houston. So I don't think they want to really keep not even fooling around. I don't think they're fooling around with the Clippers at all. I think they look past them and it's come back to bite them. I thought Lou Williams said it best. You know, Klay Thompson was talking about they're paying attention to what the Rockets are doing, so they want to get this. You can't be looking past the team you're playing, worrying about what your next opponent, your potential next opponent is doing. I thought that was a mistake on his part to even say that. But it don't surprise me. The Warriors are very arrogant.
Bruh.
But I thought Lou Williams said it best. That's their fault. They want to look past us. We're here to play. So I think they have the Warriors' attention fully. So I think they will get their best effort in Game 6. And I think it'll be a tight game, but I think the Warriors will pull it out. Would it shock me if it went 7? No. I do not in any way, shape, or form see the Clippers winning this series. Let me say that. I got the Warriors pulling this out in Game 6. I had them winning 4-2 from the beginning, so I think that's where it's going to end at. But it would not shock me if the Clippers pushed them the distance. So that being said, that's going to do it for the video. I think the playoffs are getting ready to heat up if we get the matchups that we should. Portland and Denver, Golden State, Houston, Milwaukee, Boston, Philadelphia, and Toronto. It's going to be very interesting starting next round. So stay tuned for my predictions on that. If the Warriors can wrap up the series, as well as the Nuggets. I'm just playing. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate the comments, the support. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video.